In boxing, you got a very short window to earn as much money as possible. And that's what you got to do. And whoever you got to fight to get there, and whatever you got to do to get there, do it. Because if that's what your profession is, do it.
Good. 3.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury.
Are we looking at each other or?
You're looking at me, directly at me. How are you?
Good.
Good? How's things?
Good.
Yeah? Undisputed.
Long and loose, full of juice.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Maybe not as loose and as long, but full of juice as well.
You don't.
Yeah, you know. Undisputed. Important? How important?
Not important at all.
Really? I don't believe you.
Why?
Because
I've been saying it for about 10 years.
But there's a part of you that I think sort of cares about when we look back in history and rate Tyson.
Please
You
never
care.
ever
You
mistake
care.
looking back at history.
Yeah.
If people look back at history, they never make a mistake today. So everyone obviously don't look back at history because we all make mistakes going forward.
Yeah, but when we do look at history, there is this, I think, a debate and a good one. Is where's Tyson Fury
Well, who cares?
when it comes to the best heavyweights?
Who cares?
You don't care at all?
No.
No?
I don't care where you all put me because it's just someone's opinion. And like I said to that other kid before, everyone's got one.
But you're
Doesn't
very
matter.
high. They put
But
you
it doesn't
very
matter.
high.
Put me at the bottom for wherever they want to put me now. Put me 1,000 spaces lower because I don't care about history because it means you're finished, and I'm active and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So
Still enjoying?
still enjoying and still very happy. You know, history means nothing to me. Like where they put me when I'm finished and retired. Why does that mean anything? Put me at the bottom.
Which they'll never do.
But put
And
me
they
there.
shouldn't do.
But it's just someone's opinion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some idiot with a computer who's never had a fight in his life, never been slapped, never been knocked out, nothing. His opinion on who's a good fighter and who isn't. Come on.
No, that
You know what I mean?
I agree with. Oleksandr Usyk then, as a challenge. Have you already fought the second best heavyweight in the world in Deontay Wilder, or do you think Oleksandr Usyk is the second best?
I don't know. We'll find out on February 17th. Me and Wilder had some good fights 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, one of them was, 2 years ago, and the other one was 3 years ago, over now.
Epic fights.
So there were good fights, yeah. So that's in the past now. No one cares about that anymore. People only care about what's coming. They don't care about what happened yesterday. They don't care about what happened last week. Nobody cares. Only people care about what's coming up. So when I fight Usyk, they'll care about that for 2 minutes. And then they'll be looking forward to something else. Just like we never heard the end of Spence and Crawford. When are they going to fight? When are they going to fight? Now they fought, no one cares about it. No one even talks about it. Pacquiao Mayweather, when are they going to fight? When are they going to fight? They actually fought. I don't know if anyone knows.
The build-up's great.
But nobody cares.
The build-up's great.
When it's finished now.
Yeah.
Whoever speaks about Pacquiao Mayweather or Spence Crawford or Gene Tunney Jack Dempsey, 1, 2 or 3. Nobody.
Yeah.
No one cares after the event, so enjoy it while you can.
Enjoy it indeed. When you said no one cares about history, do you care about your performance against Ngannou?
I
do
don't
you look
care
back
about
at it?
nothing. I've got paid and got laid, got out of there, and I'm on to the next one.
And it is a big next one.
Yeah.
Against Oleksandr Usyk.
Well, is it a big one?
a
No bigger
massive
than
one.
any other fight I've ever had before.
We haven't seen an undisputed heavyweight champion
Forget
for 20 years.
all that. It's just one man against another man in the ring, and every fight that I have is as important as the next one. Every one of them, from the debut to 4 fights in, 10 fights in, 30 fights in, to this one, 36.
7?
Can't be 37. I've not had 37 fights. I've had something like that anyway.
Yeah.
So they're all as important. And on the night, you got to do what you got to do, and that's it. They're all big, important fights. But just because there's a few more belts on the line, it's no more important than any of the fights I had before. Well, to me, anyway. To him, it might be. It might mean something much more special. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never spoke to him about it. However, to me, I'm just telling you the truth. The truth is, it's exciting to me and attractive because of the amount of money I'm getting paid,
Okay.
not because of the belts that's on the line. Because if you ever get time to come to Morecambe and you're passing, nip into my front room, I'll show you 26, 27 belts
I'd happily come, by the
that
way.
don't see the daylight of day.
Does that mean you don't care about them anymore? I remember that famous pitch you did when you lied down with them.
Yeah,
So
listen,
there's a care for them,
when
surely.
you're a young person, yeah, and you haven't won anything, and you win a Central Area title or an English title or an Irish title, whatever you win, a British title, it's everything to you. It's like, wow. But I'm 35 years old with an army of children and been to hell and back. Why do I care about a belt that's in a cupboard anymore? Years ago when I was 20, yeah, fantastic. When I won the British title, 22 years old, it was, oh my God, I won the British title, fantastic. But I suppose it's like walking up Everest 10 times. First time would have been fantastic. But when you've done it lots of times, it's like, well, I fight, how many fights I've had? Not quoting myself here, but it's like, does it really matter anymore? It's like Chisora's had maybe nearly 50 fights.
Yeah.
Does it matter if about number 44 or number 28 or number 17?
I think it would matter for him if he had all those belts. Maybe because you've won them all.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe because you won them all. Yeah.
But I saw a Mike Tyson video and he said, these are all worthless pieces of
I saw that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So,
I saw that.
you know, this is professional boxing. And if it wasn't about making money as much as you can.
You're prize fighters.
We're prize fighters. We're pugilists. We do this. We're like high-paid escorts. And that's what we are.
Yeah.
In boxing, you got a very short window to earn as much money as possible. And that's what you got to do. And whoever you got to fight to get there, and whatever you got to do to get there, do it. Because if that's what your profession is, do it. Work hard, dedicate yourself, and do the best you can. Because there is no tomorrow, like on the Rocky movie. Apollo said there is no tomorrow.
Good movie.
Tomorrow don't exist. There is no tomorrow. So do it today and enjoy it.
I've always said with boxing, because, and look, you know better than me the dangers of the sport, I've always said get in, get rich, get out. Right? You've got in, you've made some good money, I don't know what's in your pocket, you've made some good money. When is the get out then? When's enough in terms of the money?
It's not really enough as enough. It's like I'm doing it because I can and I don't really have anything else to do. So if it was about just getting in and getting rich and all that, I'd have retired a long time ago because I made a lot of money quite quickly. But I don't know. The temptation of boxing is you're training for a reason. You're training for a goal. You got that big build up for a big fight. You're going to fight somebody else who's done exactly the same thing. And no matter how old you are or how many miles you got on the clock or whatever is going on, it's like, well, is it now? Is it like having a child? When's it a good time to have a kid? When's it a good time to get married? When's it not?
Yeah.
There's never a good time. Sometimes you got to make a decision and stick with it. But I've made decisions where I've retired before, didn't stick with it, come back. I come back more times than a boomerang, I think. But I'm sitting at home, having a cheese sandwich, taking the kids to school. What am I having for tea?
Yeah.
Where am I going on the weekends? Right? Yeah. Like, I've been at a very, very, almost like a supernatural level of this game. You get like boxers and then there's like game changers and people like that. So it's not very often you're in a position where you can go and fight for like up-teen amounts of money and all the world's watching and everything else. It's obviously a very addictive thing, boxing. I think it's more addictive than drugs and alcohol. You can get rid of the drugs and alcohol, but you can never get rid of boxing because even when the boxing's finished, you still want to be around it, you still want to watch it and everything. So it's a very addictive thing. Why do I still do boxing? I have no idea, because I'm a stupid probably.
Well, maybe that's because you're the best heavyweight on the planet.
Well, maybe
it helps being the best as well.
But maybe that I'm very stupid as well, and there's never a good time to let it go.
Yeah.
Maybe, because if there was, it was easy to walk away. Then Ali would have walked away. Frazier, Foreman, Holmes, everybody, Jack Dempsey, John L. Sullivan, everybody would have walked away, but they couldn't.
Does this mean we get Fury for a bit longer?
Yeah.
Which is good.
Listen, I'm here, I'm doing what I got to do, I'm a prize fighter, I'm getting paid a lot of money. When the day goes when I don't get paid anymore, good amounts of money, then I'll walk away. Like, who's anyone to say to anyone, walk away? Like, I remember talking to Derek a couple of years ago and said, like, you've had a good win now, just end it on that, when he beat Pulev.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what am I going to do? I was like, well, you are right. What is anyone going to do? What are we all going to do?
I thought when you fought him, I thought that was the time he was going to walk away. I almost felt like you gave him that fight, walk away.
It's again, we as boxers and as fighters, we never walk away. It's never a good time to walk away. Look at Danny Williams. He's still boxing today.
Yeah.
I don't know how old Danny. He's got to be close to 50 years old.
Yeah.
So I just saw James Toney fight Razor Ruddock.
It's crazy.
And they love it. They were putting combination,
they still look pretty good, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So there's never a good time. And fighters can't let it go. I've seen Larry Holmes hitting a bag recently. George Foreman hitting a bag at 70 odd years old. Once you get the bug to fight, it never leaves you. Never leaves you. You see old men in a boxing gym, old granddads, and they just love it. And they just keep fit as people who never boxed. Never mind if you've been to the top of the world and back again.
I guess with you as well, it's not just a case of it not leaving you. There are so many good fights out there to have. And big money fights, right? With what Saudi Arabia have done.
Yeah,
big
if
money
there
fights.
wasn't big money fights, then I probably wouldn't be in it anymore. That's a fact.
Yeah.
If Saudi Arabia hadn't come along when they did, then I probably wouldn't be in boxing anymore.
Well, let's thank them for doing so, because it's great
We need to.
for you to be
we
here.
need to thank all of Saudi Arabia, Turkey Al Sheikh, all of his people, everybody involved in Saudi Arabian boxing, and everybody who makes it possible. Because without Saudi Arabian boxing, I think boxing is on the downfall. I really do. And it takes somebody like Saudi with the money and with everything else, the influence, to come along and put these big shows on.
Yeah, no,
And
agreed.
put big fights on.
Agreed. I thought the whole build-up to your fight against Ngannou was incredible.
Unbelievable.
You did this. You made me do this, by the way. I wasn't going to cross my legs. Now I feel like I've got to cross my legs.
When would you ever get Wilder and Joshua on the same bill, not fighting each other?
Impossible.
Impossible.
Eddie and Frank on the same stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense, but money talks and walks.
Yeah.
And for the right amount of money, they'll all eat humble pie, which they are. So, it is what it is.
Are you surprised where you are? I've spoken to your dad about this in terms of, I remember when you came back from that Klitschko fight and the fanfare wasn't as big as it should have been, considering what you done and who you beat.
Yeah.
And here we are now where you are, I think, the number one, not just fighter or heavyweight on the planet, the number one attraction on the planet. So to go from there to there in a short space of time, does it shock you?
It's been a long journey, though. It's been a long journey, and it hasn't shocked me because I believe in life everyone's where they're supposed to be. Whether you're down and out or you're on top of the world, that's where you're supposed to be.
You even thought that, even when you was going through your depression and everything, you still thought that?
Yeah, I thought that then as well. I'm supposed to be here. This is my moment in time to get right. Even if you're at rock bottom, the only place you can go is up. So it's never a bad thing to be at rock bottom. It's a good thing, actually, because you can really search yourself and find out who you are and what you really want. Because at rock bottom, you don't do anything else apart from soul search.
Yeah.
And the only way out of there is up. And that's it, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
So I think everybody needs to be at rock bottom sometime in their life to decide who they are and what they want and what they're doing in this life. Like my calling card is to entertain people and fight on a Saturday night and give people entertainment in their life. Whether they're at a 9-to-5 job they can't stand, or whether they're, I don't know, the King of England.
Yeah.
To entertain people on a Saturday night.
You do it more than the Saturday. I think as soon as the fight's announced, I know you're going to do it at the presser as soon as we get out there and you get the mic.
Because that's what I do. I'm an entertainer.
You are.
I'm an entertainer, and I'm more than a boxer. A boxer is someone who goes in there with a pair of boxing gloves on and does a boxing fight. And what 3 people watch. So yeah, I'd like to think of myself as an entertainer. And I've entertained over the years, and I'll still continue to entertain, whether it's singing, whether it's dancing, whether it's wrestling, whether it's boxing, whether it's on Netflix.
You're doing loads. You're doing loads, Mr. Fury. Do you ever get nervous for fights?
I don't get nervous. I've been in this game a long, long time, and you get used to it.
Yeah.
It's a feeling that you can't replicate. You feel happy, sad, nervous, anxious, and excited at the same time.
Yeah.
When you're gearing up for a fight, it's like, this is unbelievable. It's a feeling that you can't get, that adrenaline rush you can't get from anywhere else.
Can you enjoy it?
Yeah, you can learn to channel the feeling and enjoy. I've been doing it for a long time.
You have?
It's like I've been meditating all this. My brother Shane says I have a lot of power. Whatever I say comes into existence. And I've said it all my life. Like, I remember when I was 17 years old, I said, right, I want a BMW 530 diesel M Sport.
Ooh.
That's what I want, a black one with cream interior.
Big wheels?
Big wheels, obviously.
Yeah.
20-inch wheels.
You gotta have the wheels.
Back then it was big, not today.
No, 20 is now normal.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, and then I remember saying it that many times. I got it.
Yeah.
I said I was going to be champion. I said I was going to be British champion. Every other thing that I've ever said, and it's come to reality. And I remember watching recently a Jim Carrey thing where he said he walked around with like $1 million check in his wallet. And he thought about it that much where it happened. And I think I've done that with boxing. Everything I've ever thought of in my mind, I've come true. A bit like Dr. X.
You know what's crazy about that is, although some might say some new to boxing might say, well, obviously you're going to become British champion. You weren't supposed to be British champion. I remember
I
at the
wasn't supposed
time,
to be anything.
David Price was the one that was
I was
supposed
writ
to come
off.
through.
I was
Yeah.
a premature child, a weakling, the odd one out, a gangly giraffe, and then a fat. So I've been writ off my whole life. I keep defying the odds. Every fight I've ever had, I'm supposed to lose.
True. Wilder, Klitschko.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of the fights. Anyone who was anybody, I'm supposed to lose. Nothing new. I defied the odds many, many times. They said I'd never come back. Do you remember that when I was 10 stone overweight?
Yeah.
Out of the ring over 2.5 years. I come back. They said I'd never beat Wilder. Did that. They said I'd never ever put my hands behind my back against Klitschko or Showboat.
You did that as well.
Did that too.
So what are you going to do against Usyk?
I'm going to make a ton of money. What did I say recently? I did a press conference in here.
Yeah.
I said I want to be the baddest man on the planet and I want to be top the Forbes list. That's my next 2 goals, and I want to do a movie about myself. That's what's happening.
Who's on the top of the Forbes list?
Don't know.
LeBron James, maybe? One of those?
LeBron, whoever he is.
Coming for you, LeBron. It's coming for you. The
coming
Gypsy
for
King's
LeBron.
coming for you.
And let me tell you, with what I've got coming up, I'll wipe them all out. Every one of them.
Good luck February 17th, my man.
Gracias.
Well done. Cheers.
All the best.
Thank you.